I'm here falsely accused for a 21-year-old Warren. And I try to speak, and she acts like Judge Judy. She just constantly cuts you off, is threatening. And if you look at the TV show Judge Judy, this is how she acts, Judge. And I'm just being treated like I'm just a criminal. I'm supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, right? And I would like an investigation as to things that's been going on by the prosecutor's office because Kim Worthy and her subordinates are retaliating against me. There's actual proof. But she has an attitude like Judge Judy. She just cuts you off. And I'm just like, so when she kept doing it, this is when I objected and asked her to recuse herself.
All right, folks. Today we've got one of the most ridiculous sovereign citizens we've ever featured. This guy is in court now because of an earlier hearing. He had a preliminary session with Judge Martin, but naturally he was going on and on with the typical sovereign citizen nonsense. He's completely in victim mode, and he even tried to have Judge Martin recused because, according to him, she was acting like Judge Duty, supposedly interrupting him every time he refused to stop with his absurd sovereign citizen script. It's honestly so cringe-worthy, you have to watch it to believe it. Tell me what you think in the comments. Does he actually have a point? Or is he just the most clueless person alive? Let's jump right into it.
Neil Michael McQuarrie appearing in appropriate persona.
All right. It's my understanding, sir, you filed a motion to have Judge Bryant disqualified from the case. Judge Bryant denied your motion, and essentially your motion was appealed up to the chief judge, which is me. Is that correct, sir?
That's correct.
Okay. Argument.
Well, the argument is, sir, under Michigan Code of Judicial Conduct, the judge is in violation of Canon 1 and 2 because I'm here falsely accused for a 21-year-old Warren. And I try to speak, and she acts like Judge Judy. She just constantly cuts you off, is threatening, so far as be quiet, like, Canon 2, it says public confidence in the judiciary is eroded by irresponsible or improper conduct by judges. A judge must avoid all impropriety and appearance of impropriety. A judge must expect to be the subject of constant public scrutiny. A judge must therefore accept restrictions on conduct that might be viewed as burdensome by the ordinary citizen and should do so freely and willingly, Judge. And I come into court very respectful. I'm a 51-year-old man, and I respect the system. But I'm feeling that I'm being given, disrespect. I'm being silenced. I have a right under the free speech to petition the court for redress of grievances and things of that nature. And if you look at the TV show Judge Judy, this is how she acts, Judge. Totally wrong. And she asked me, what did I want to do with the case? I said, I would like to challenge jurisdiction because I went to prison in '02 for 15 years and 8 months. They had under the rule, it's, I believe, for misdemeanors 40-something days, for felonies it's 6 months. So I request that the prosecutor prove its authority in bringing these charges so late. And I have been home 6.5 years, productive in the community, no problems, and I'm trying to do right, Judge. I made past mistakes when I was a young man. And I'm just being treated like I'm just a criminal. I'm supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, right? So I'm not trying to disrupt this court. I'm not trying to cause you guys hardships or anything, things of that nature. And my due process is being violated, Judge. That's all. I want to just get this case so it wouldn't be left alone. I'm a grandfather. I have children. And their DPD has retaliated against me, Judge. And I know this is a Detroit police court. And I would like an investigation as to things that's been going on by the prosecutor's office because Kim Worthy and her.
So basically what this genius is saying is the prosecutor was only doing their job trying to send him back to prison. So can they just throw the whole case out? He's like, I'm a grandfather. I've got kids. You got to go easy on me. Seriously, nobody's buying that, man. Judges don't hand out free passes just because someone's a grandpa. Judge Martin is a solid judge. She's not going to hold a grudge against someone for being a former criminal. She has a job to do, just like everyone else. And that job is making sure justice is served, not letting someone off because they're trying to play the sympathy card. What do you all think about this guy so far? Does he actually have a point, or is he just trying to tug at the judge's heartstrings? Let's jump back into it.
I don't know if you're familiar with Bill Proctor. He's representing me in this matter and another matter so far as investigations for years of, hardships and tyranny committed against me by the system here in Wayne County. So this is all I want, a fair shake judge, a judge who's going to give me due process and give me what I'm entitled to according to law. And that's it, sir.
Okay. Ms. Ritter, would you like to respond in any way?
Judge, the only response that people have is that this is a case from 2002. It's a misdemeanor assault and battery case. Judge, from my recollection of the prior hearing with Judge Bryant, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that it was an arraignment process. And as the court was trying to proceed with the process, I do remember Mr. McCreary interrupting the judge while she was trying to make the record. But the people have not gotten to the point where, because Mr. Carnell was disruptive during the proceedings, the people didn't get to the point where there was another pretrial date set where the people could actually see if we're able to move forward on this 2002 case, Judge.
I have a rebuttal.
Yes.
Okay, Judge, I would like you, if it's possible, I know you guys are on Zoom, so you should have access to recordings of these hearings and things of that nature. I believe that the prosecutor just fabricated facts to you because I was not rude to this lady. All I asked her is, she said, what do you want to be done with this case? I said, I would like to challenge jurisdiction. And Michigan and federal law requires once jurisdiction is challenged, it must be proven. How is it that the prosecutor knows statute of limitations? They're licensed. I'm not licensed. I've studied for years in prison. And they don't know that there's a statute of limitations. This is vindictive prosecution because of my complaints against Kim Worthy, Your Honor. And the record will reflect the evidence. And I object to her statements.
All right. Court having had a chance to hear the arguments of the moving party, as well as the arguments of the prosecutor. The moving party is asking for a recusal or to have Judge Bryant disqualified based on Michigan Canons 1 and 2, based on that she is biased, as well as is not allowing a person to be able to basically argue their case. The moving party is stating that he wants to challenge jurisdiction and that he was not allowed to do so. The prosecutor is stating that there was only a proceeding at an arraignment and that the prosecution hasn't even got to the point where they have established whether they want to move forward with the case, but that was not allowed to happen because in their view, there was disruption.
So basically what I'm hearing is that if this guy would have just kept his mouth shut and let the judge do her thing, she would have arraigned him, and there's a good chance she would have just dismissed the case since it happened so long ago. Like, seriously, why is this dude even here right now? What does he think he's gaining by interrupting the judge when she was about to do him a favor and dismiss the case all because he wanted to challenge her jurisdiction? Honestly, these sovereign citizens just make things way harder for themselves.
What do you guys think about this guy? Because honestly, I have no idea why he would do that. The case was 22 years old, and knowing Judge Bryant, she would have just dismissed the case because it happened so long ago. But then again, these sovereign citizens always think they're smarter than everybody else, so there's got to be something deeper here. But let's go ahead and dive back in and see the rest of this thing.
The moving party is disputing that. He's saying that I could go to the video or the tapes to dispute that. At this time, the court is not going to make a decision at this point. I am going to pull the tape, pull the transcript. I'm going to make a decision very quickly on this. I'm not going to let this continue. And even based on, the court does have an opinion probably on the likelihood of prosecution on a 21-year-old case. So we're going to come back on, we're going to come back on July 6th at 10 a.m. Please check your schedule, sir.
May I also, you say July 6th, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
May I also, if I may,
check your schedule first. Check your schedule to see are you available for that time.
I'm available. I'm stuck here on tether, sir. I'm available at any time you guys want me to. Okay.
All right. Well, put it on your schedule for 10 o'clock on July 6th.
Okay, can I say one more thing? If you look at Crampton versus Michigan Department of State 395, Michigan 347 at 351, it says the United States Supreme Court disqualified judges and decision makers without a showing of actual bias in situations where experience teaches that the probability of actual bias on the part of the judge or decision maker is too high to be constitutionally tolerable. And I'm not saying like trying to attack Judge Brian or whatever else, but she has an attitude like Judge Judy. She just cuts you off. And I'm just like, so when she kept doing it, this is when I objected and asked her to recuse herself.
And sir, and again, as the chief judge, I don't have to have a showing of actual.
Yeah, the chief judge is definitely going to give this one some serious thought. I mean, honestly, I bet it'll take this guy about 2 minutes to realize he was clearly in the wrong, acting like a full-on sovereign citizen nutcase, interrupting the judge, being rude, and just making everything worse. I really think this dude needs to get a grip because that's not how any of this works. I just know he probably thinks the judge was biased because she didn't let him off the hook, even though he didn't let her finish, and she might have been about to dismiss the case anyway. But hey, let me know in the comments if you want to see that video. I'll probably be posting the full court case with Judge Martin sometime this week, so stay tuned for that. It's like these sovereign citizens can't help themselves. They think they're above the law and can do whatever they want, but when it all falls apart, it's honestly kind of funny. I mean, who do they think they are? They're not going to win that fight. So yeah, tell me what you thought about this one. I'll be posting the other videos shortly, so keep an eye out. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. Take care, everyone.